Last week, the Halos swept the A's in Oakland and haven't lost since after dramatic weekend wins against the Detroit Tigers. Now the A's come to town for a pivotal four-game series as the wild card leader and the hottest team in baseball square off in the chase for the playoffs. A's and Angels is next. A warm and muggy night here at the Big A. The Angels trying to continue their winning ways. Six-game winning streak after sweeping the Detroit Tigers. And tonight here at the Big A, they welcome in the wild card leading Oakland Athletics for the first of a four-game series. We check out the American League wild card standings. Oakland and Baltimore sitting atop there. The Angels and the Tampa Bay Rays, one back, and the Tigers at 4.5 back. As we welcome in inside the Big A and back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West. I'm Victor Rojas along with my partner Mark Gubicza. Last week the Angels had a chance to face the Oakland Athletics at the Coliseum, a place in which the Angels have not played that well of late. But they went in there against a very tough pitching staff. They threw the ball well. They caught the ball well. The bullpen certainly pitched well. And the Angels offense continued to click against a very, very tough pitching staff.
Victor, they did everything well in that series. When you think about it, Oakland had won 9 straight games. They were crushing the baseball, averaging around 8 runs a game. But it was the offense from the Angels that allowed the team to be able to go out and sweep that 3-game series. Outscored them 21-5. And, of course, the pitching staff was outstanding, in particular the starters. ERA 1.67. They established fastballs early on and made them chase pitches out of the zone. The batting average, the extra base hits, 10 of them in that 3-game series, hitting well over 300 for the Angels against that A's very, very good pitching staff. And they did some damage against their bullpen, too, which is an accomplishment considering they're one of the best bullpens in the game.
Well, you mentioned how important this series is, not only that the Angels chasing the Oakland Athletics, but also as far as head-to-head, just in case you get into that situation where you have to play a play-in game. The Angels lead the season series 8-7 as Dan Herron will toe the slab for the Halos. Jared Parker will be going for the Oakland Athletics. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A, so sit back and relax. We'll bring you the lineups in the first pitch when we return. Angels baseball is brought to you by the All-American Jack Combo for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. By the amazing Hyundai Sonata. Visit your Southern California Hyundai dealer today.
And by 76 Gas. We're on the driver's side.
Angels not wasting any time as they take the field, led by Dan Haren wearing their alternate red tops. The Oakland A's wearing their alternate green tops. And we will give you the starting lineup for Bob Melvin and the Oakland Athletics. 19 games over 500 79 and 63 and a half games back in the American League West. Coco Crisp leading things off in center field. Seth Smith gets a start in right field. Josh Reddick is the DH tonight. Yoenis Cespedes is in left field. Brandon Moss getting the start at first base. George Kataris is the catcher. Josh Donaldson at third base. Stephen Drew, the shortstop. Cliff Pennington is the switch-hitting second baseman. Taking on Dan Haren is the last time out. Defeated the Oakland Athletics at the Coliseum, striking out 7 and walking 3.
Yeah, last 2 games, Dan Haren is throwing the ball very well. Just 3 walks, 10 punch-outs in his last 13 innings, in which he picked up 2 Ws. 8th straight year with 10 or more wins for Dan Haren, one of the most consistent starters in baseball.
Let's check out the defense. Behind Dan Haren tonight, Mark Trumbo is in left, Mike Trout is in center, Torrey Hunter in right. The infield has Alberto Callasco and Eric Ibar on the left side. Howie Kendrick and Kendrys Morales on the right with Chris Iannetta doing the catching.
You can always feel with Dan Haren on the mound, that cut fastball either in on the lefty or away on the righty will keep Torrey Hunter extremely busy in right field. 11 outfield assists, which is tied for 3rd in Major League Baseball as far as right fielders. 26 in the last 2 seasons for him.
Coco Crisp steps in. Swinging first pitch, hits one high and deep to right field. Torrey Hunter's back at the wall, leaps up, can't make the play. Crisp will end up at third base at the very least as Torrey gets the baseball back in. 1 pitch and a triple by Coco Crisp, his 6th of the season.
Well, before we can get out, saying the key to be able to pitch against Oakland is keeping Crisp off the base. He ends up with a triple, his 6th triple of the year. A fastball that stayed inner part of the plate and has kept drifting back. Torrey tried to time the leap it high off the wall and by him for a triple. Just over the glove. Good effort by Torrey trying to catch that fly ball off the wall by Coco Crisp.
So man in scoring position, 90 feet away, Seth Smith. Left-hand hitting right fielder steps in. First one from Haren. Cut on, dribbled up the first base line. That'll bring home a run. And the A's have a 1-0 lead on 2 pitches to start this game. Smith gets credit for his 46th run batted in.
Number 60, designated hitter Josh Reddick.
And one thing about Oakland, though, when they get those early leads, are very difficult because they have a very good young pitching staff, especially the starters, and then that bullpen very deep. So it's up to Dan just to be able to keep that damage done at 1 here in the 1st inning.
There's Josh Reddick. Typically the everyday right fielder, but serving as a DH tonight, hitting .252, 28 home runs, 75 runs batted in. He has 25 doubles and 5 triples. His first season with Oakland. Lines one out toward right center field, and Mike Trout tracks it down for the 2nd out here in the 1st.
When he approached right away against Dan Haren to swing it early in the count. Ball was hit well by Reddick. Trout able to track it down. One of those baseballs that get caught up at a bank of lights also.
Haren allowed only 3 hits in that start against Oakland on the 5th. So 2 outs and the base is clear for Yoenis Cespedes. Cespedes in his rookie season, hitting .289 with 16 home runs, 66 runs batted in. 21 doubles and 3 triples. Very good speed, very good throwing arm, and very accurate as well. As he bounces this one to short, Ibar's going to have to hurry on it, and the inning comes to an end. But the A's strike first. They get a run on a leadoff triple and a ground out. We'll head to the bottom of first. 1-0 Oakland.
out by Seth Smith, leading 1-0. Now let's take a look at our AT&T U-verse replay. On Saturday against Justin Verlander, a third pitch of the game on a leadoff home run from Mike Trout. And then yesterday gets a fastball in the outer half and goes the other way for another leadoff home run. Back-to-back games with the leadoff big fly for Mike Trout.
Well, the Angels play from behind for the first time since that Sunday game in Seattle, which ended up losing 2-1. RBI ground out by Seth Smith, putting the Oakland Athletics up 1-0. Mike Trout, Torrey Hunter, and Albert Pujols. You see the leadoff home runs in the last two games. Mike tied with several former Angels, one current Angel. As he looks at a fastball for a strike. Jared Parker getting to start. 9-8 record of 3.67 ERA. Trout yesterday finished the game going 1 for 4. The one was his 27th home run of the year, hitting .328 on the season. That's a strike on the inside corner. 0-2. Tim Welke was calling the balls and strikes today. As you see the numbers overall on the Indiana native, just 23 years of age, former first-round pick. 9th overall in 2007 by the Arizona Diamondbacks.
And he's got a good fastball, as you can see right there. 89-95 slider, curve, changeup.
This one's lifted in the air to right. Smith comes in and toward the foul line, and he'll put it away for the first down. Let's check out Mike Scioscia's lineup. The Angels at 77 and 63 have Trout leading things off at center. Torrey Hunter's in right. Albert Pujols serving as the DH. Kendrys Morales, the cleanup hitter, at first base. Howie Kendrick at second. Eric Ibar, shortstop. Mark Trumbo back in left field. Alberto Callasco at third, and Chris Iannetta's doing the catching. Torrey had a double yesterday, finishing up 1 for 3 as he swings first pitch and lifts one high to left field. Cespedes almost dead in his tracks, now backs up a little bit, makes a catch, and that is out number 2. Let's check out the Athletics defensively. Cespedes, Crisp, and Smith in the outfield from left to right. The infield has Donaldson, Drew Pennington, and Moss from third to first. And Kataris, who's been swinging a pretty good bat for the A's, is behind the plate.
With Pennington playing second base, we've seen him over the years play shortstop for Oakland. Very, very strong throwing arm. Has committed just one error in that second base position. Fielding percentage of .986 in that spot. Very good as far as turning double plays.
Albert Pujols takes one outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Albert also picked up a hit yesterday, going 1 for 4. It was his 42nd double of the year. His average of .289. And Parker falls behind at 2 balls and no strikes. 29 home runs and 94 runs batted in for Albert. 3-0.
You don't see Albert swing all that often on a 3-0 count, especially the way the baseball has been carrying at the Big A of late. I think he might go after a fastball if it's in his zone.
This one's pulled to the left side. The shortstop Drew has it. High throw, but Moss is able to keep the foot on the bag as the Angels go down in order. A shutdown inning by Parker. We played 1, and it's 1-0 Oakland. Dan Herron giving up a run on 2 pitches. A triple by Coco Crisp off the wall in right field, and then the ground out by Seth Smith. And retired Reddick on a fly ball to center, and Cespedes on a ground ball to short. And here in the second inning, he'll face Moss, Kataris, and Donaldson. Lefty, lefty, and righty. Moss hitting .256 on the year. So he went to the breaking pitch for a strike. 6 home runs and 35 runs batted in. That's up and in. Evens a count at a ball and a strike. Last 10 games, Brandon Moss has been swinging a very, very good bat for Oakland. A .361 average. This one's fouled back, and it's 1-2. 10 runs batted in, 9 runs scored over the last 10. And the A's, credit to them as they continue to play good baseball after the Angels swept them at the Coliseum. They didn't skip a beat. They went to Seattle. They faced Felix Hernandez on Friday, and then they ended up sweeping the Seattle Mariners over the weekend as Moss takes outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, they faced 2 pitchers that they had little success against, King Felix and Vargas, and they end up sweeping the Mariners.
Yep. They are 7 games over 500 out on the road at 37-30. Swing and a miss. Down goes Moss. First strikeout for Herron. The first out here in the second.
Well, that was a real good split finger fastball from Dan. Able to stay on top a little bit better than the one before. This one straight down. The thing with Dan Herron, he has that ability to have 2 different types of split finger fastballs. One that have lateral action, one that will go straight down, depending on how his wrist is and location of his wrist.
George Guitar is the batter. He's the catcher for Oakland. Looks at a breaking pitch for a strike. Hitting .222 with 5 home runs and 16 runs batted in as a member of the Oakland A's, formerly of the Milwaukee Brewers. And it is 0-2.
A good curveball early on for Dan. This couple he's thrown in there for a strike at 75. Give him a little differential in speeds.
Upstairs. Ball and 2 strikes. One-two on the way. Swing and a miss. Got him with a fastball. Just got a piece of it right into the mitt. Back-to-back strikeouts for Herron. 2 outs.
What you had as a hitter, they're looking for something off speed, and instead Dan throws an 89-mile-an-hour fastball. Paints that outside part of the plate, just barely fouled it. Guitars, but ends up being caught by Iannetta for a second straight strikeout for Herron.
All right, how much does that lead-off triple first pitch, and you see guys swinging early in the count in that first inning, change your approach against this lineup, or do you take the same approach that you had last game and still continue on?
You try to do that same approach, especially the last 7 batters he faced, in which he retired all 7, was a little different, as you see right here, getting some quick outs against the A's.
A 1-2-3 inning. We'll head to the bottom of the second with the A's up 1-0. 1-0, bottom of the second inning. We'll check out our Hyundai key to the game before Kendrys Morales steps up.
A little Yellow Wolf / Kid Rock song. Let's roll for Mike Scioscia's team. The offense get back in business, be able to establish some early leads, and keeping a hold of that with a great, solid bullpen for the Angels, along with that great starting pitching.
Jared Parker had a very easy first inning, a 1-2-3 frame facing Morales, Kendrick, and Ibar. The first one is a little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. Kendrys went 0 for 4 yesterday, hitting .280, 18 home runs and 64 runs batted in. Fouls this one off to the left. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jared Parker took the loss in that start against the Angels on September the 4th, but did not pitch poorly. Gave up 2 runs on 8 hits. He struck out 5, walked nobody in 7 innings of work. This one's pulled, and that is just foul. Wide of the bag at first, 1-2.
Yeah, Parker's a guy that's around the strike zone a lot, does not give up a lot of home runs. There's going to be a mistake up in the strike zone. Pitches inside effectively. He has a plus changeup. And his slider and curveball are very solid also. Good mechanics. Doesn't overthrow.
There's that off-speed pitch. Gets Morales, and there's the first out here, the second.
That's the thing. Last game, he didn't start throwing his changeup until around the 4th inning. That was a perfect changeup right there, especially after a hitter pulls a fastball just foul down the line. He come back with an 81-mile-an-hour changeup.
He shut down the Angels for the first 4 innings in that game. Angels touch it for a run of the 5th and 1 of the 6th. And both times the leadoff man reached against him. Here's how he looks at a strike.
Very susceptible to the stolen base, especially without Kurt Suzuki catching him anymore.
Came inside with that fastball. An 0-2 count on Kendrick.
For a while there, Park had a tough adjustment for him when Kurt Suzuki caught a number of his games. He was very comfortable with the veteran behind the plate. And then when Suzuki was traded over to the Washington Nationals, they learned all these new catchers.
Off-speed pitch outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Derek Norris and George Kataris have been doing the bulk of the catching for Bob Melvin, former big league catcher himself. There's Derek. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Now he lays off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Halos within the division, a 23-18 record against the West. Oakland 22-21. This one's driven out towards center field, but Coco Crisp is there. 2 outs. Well struck by Howie. But the second out here in the second, the Angels still looking for that first base runner.
Quite different for Coco as compared to Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson plays an extremely shallow center. Coco most times is a fairly deep center field. It really depends as a center fielder what you're more comfortable coming in on the baseball or going back. Coco very comfortable coming in on a flare into that center field position.
So 2 outs, bases clear. Ibar at the plate. He's got himself a 9-game hitting streak, hitting .281 on the year. Donaldson playing in at third base. 1 ball, no strikes. Derek extended that hitting streak to 9 with his single and run scored in the second of yesterday's game. 1-0. Off speed, pulled foul. A ball and a strike. Mentioned that Parker, originally in the Arizona Diamondbacks system, came over in that Trevor Cahill deal, along with Colin Cowgill and Ryan Cook. Craig Breslow going to Arizona as well. 2 balls and a strike. They've got a lot of young arms in their bullpen, in their starting rotation. They had to add another one because of Brandon McCarthy. And that liner that he took off the head by Eric Ibar last week.
And they've been able to develop a lot of pitchers over the years. You can see by the way they do. They don't waste time. They don't walk around the mound. Their philosophy is throw a lot of first pitch strikes, attack with a fastball.
Check swing, and that's over the head of Donaldson down the left field line. Cespedes is there to pick it up. Eric will stop right there. Mentioned Cespedes with a very good arm. So it's a 2-out single for Eric Ibar. Excuse me hit. And it'll bring up Mark Trumbo.
It would have been ball 4. He wasn't going to go after the pitch, Eric, but he ended up getting a hit out of it anyhow. And a wise decision not challenging Cespedes' arm strength and accuracy in the left field position. He got himself a good throwing position and right on the money.
Hey, maybe he'll use that approach instead of that slap bunt approach from now on. Just go the old check swing.
Yeah.
Just trying to knock it over the third baseman's head.
It's always fun as a pitcher when you give up those little flares on the check swing, too.
Here's Trumbo. Snapped an 0 for 16 yesterday with an infield base hit as he looks at a strike. Mark hitting .270 with 30 home runs, 83 runs batted in.
And both these managers like to utilize pitch outs. I would not be surprised if Bob Melvin put a pitch out on now with Eric Ibar at first base. 14 stolen bases in 18 attempts.
Ibar with a big lead at first. It's Trumbo. Fouls it off to the right. Got a couple of fastballs there in the hole at 0-2. Man named Bomel at the helm of the Oakland Athletics. Got to be one of the front runners for manager of the year with the job he's done with this team. Buck Showalter, another guy.
Well, Buck's going to be tested now with Markakis being out for the rest of the regular season for Baltimore. How he rallies those guys to continue to play good baseball.
It's only 3 games going on in the American League tonight. White Sox leading the Tigers. Minnesota leading Cleveland. Oakland leading the Angels 1-0 here in the second. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Trumbo. Texas is idle. They will host the Cleveland Indians beginning tomorrow. And Oakland, as we look ahead to the schedule for the Angels. Angels will go to Kansas City and then return home for the bulk of the rest of September, except the last 6 games. Oakland's got a lot of road games coming up. As Trumbo takes a called strike 3 on the outside corner. We'll talk about the schedule a little bit later on. 2 in the books here at the Big A, and it's 1-0 Oakland. Drew, Pennington, and Crisp against Dan Hare. That's 8-9-1 for the Athletics. Drew is a member of the A's, sitting .254 as the breaking pitch. Just misses outside, a home run, and 6 runs batted in for Stephen Drew. This being his 18th game. It's 2 balls and no strikes. A couple of former Diamondback teammates here, and Herron and Stephen Drew. 2-1. Mentioned Tim Welke calling the balls and strikes today. Paul Schreiber is over at first base. Mike Everett at second. Laz Diaz at third for this 4-game series. Drew lifts one in the air to shallow center. Trout comes charging in. 1 out. Check out that upcoming schedule we were talking about after these 3, or the remaining 3 here against Oakland. Finishing up on Thursday afternoon. A trip to Kansas City for 3. Off day on Monday. 3 against Texas, 3 against the White Sox. Off day on the 24th, and then 3 against the Seattle Mariners. And then the last 6 of the season are 3 in Texas, 3 in Seattle. As Pennington fouls off the first one, and it's 0-1. We were talking about Oakland's schedule. They go home after this series. They will take on the Baltimore Orioles for a 3-game set at the Coliseum, and then they go out on the road. 3 in Detroit, 3 against the Yankees, and then a 4-game series in Texas.
You talk about a tough schedule.
Yeah, they finish up at home with 6-game series, 3 against Seattle, and then 3 more against Texas.
Well, when you look at the Angels' schedule, all those home games, granted some tough teams you're going to play, a number of home games, the importance for the Angels here, especially in this 4-game series.
Morales will take this one himself. Pennington is down number 2 here in the 3rd. So was it the Tigers? We had that graphic yesterday. The easiest of the contending teams. They get 20 of their next 23. Or something to that effect against the American League Central, and their winning percentage is under 500. Is one graphic that I once saw today in that White Sox game.
Yeah, but the Tigers play with the Twins and the Royals a number of times.
Yep.
They've had their issues with the Royals.
Yep.
The Tigers have.
Tigers at the start of day 2 back in the Central, and they trail the White Sox 4-1. That's a 4-game series in Chicago.
Robin Ventura's got to be mentioned as far as
Yeah.
the manager of the year also.
Swing and a miss by Chris, but it's 0-2. Coco led off the ball game. Very first pitch with a triple and then scored on the Smith ground out. He's 1 for 1. Triple his 6th of the year. Outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Coco's always had his problems against slow pitches, whether curveballs or change-up, split-finger fastballs. So would not be surprised to see one here from Dan.
Off speed, got him swinging, foul tipped and hung on to by Iannetta. Another 1-2-3 inning for Herron. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. Oakland still up 1-0. Season seat deposits for the 2013 season are now being accepted. Place your deposit now and receive priority for next season. For more information to place that deposit, just call 888-796-HALO or log on at angels.com/season seats. Callaspo, Iannetta, and Trout here against Jared Parker. Alberto loops one down the left field line. Long run for Cespedes. Into the foul territory he goes. Makes a nice catch up against that little short wall. And there's the first out. A lot of early outs against Jared Parker. The Angels not wasting any time.
Boy, Cespedes covering a lot of ground, dealing with that wall. Foul territory. Got to look where it was, knew exactly where he was able to reach in the last second before he runs into the wall. What you have is two pitches that are around the strike zone, and the hitter's realizing that, so they're attacking the fastball early on in the counts.
Parker's thrown 27 pitches so far, 17 strikes, facing Chris Iannetta. He's got 2 strikeouts, 1 hit allowed. 0-1 count. Iannetta went 0 for 3 yesterday, hitting .253 on the season with 8 home runs and 23 runs batted in.
Iannetta 3 for 6 against Parker.
Two balls and 1 strike.
One you can notice, though, is his arm angle is slightly different from his breaking pitch compared to his fastball. He's more straight over the top of his fastball. Same thing with his changeup, but when he throws his slider and curveball, he drops down to about 3/4 arm angle. So as a hitter, you can recognize that. Either lay off it or attack it if it's in the zone.
Foul off to the right, 2-2. Qatar setting up outside, and that pitch ran in. Fouled off into the upper deck on the first base side.
He definitely has good life on his two-seam fastball. That one at 95.
Yeah, you could tell that today just seems like a guy that's got some confidence. That's one of those things that in the bullpen you're figuring, you know what, I like the life on my fastball here. I'm going to start it off. I'm going to work with this first, knowing that you've got the changeup in the bank.
Plus, both sides of the plate, he can throw his fastball.
Yep. Oakland with a first inning run leads it 1-0. 1 out here in the third. Trout is on deck. 1 hit for the Angels, and base hit by Eric Aybar with 2 outs. This one's pulled to short. That was an off-speed pitch that was up in the strike zone. There's the second out here in the third.
He got that changeup up, but it's a differential of a 95-mile-an-hour fastball compared to an 83-mile-an-hour changeup. That Iannetta out in front.
So 2 outs and the bases clear for Trout, who led off the bottom of the first with a fly ball to right. Breaking pitch is down low.
Take a look at our Mazda leaders. As far as most home runs by a leadoff hitter in the Angel history, Mike Trout at the top now with 27. Brian Downey had 26, as did Tony Phillips back in 95.
Trout gets jammed. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, that's twice now he's ran a fastball in on Trout. Trout's usually very, very quick on a fastball inside. It just tells you what kind of life he's had on that fastball. Looks like it's inviting the hit, but then has that run action on your hands.
Two balls and a strike.
Yeah, you're right, Victor. He likes his fastball tonight. There's no question.
No doubt about it. And as a hitter right now, the way Parker's throwing the baseball is you can't pick one spot. You can't sit looking away. It's a 2-1 pitch. Is a breaking ball. Misses low. 3 balls and a strike because he's just shown the ability to throw that two-seam fastball on the inside part of the plate for a strike, as he did to Trout in that first inning at bat. Three-1 upstairs, and he walked him. A 2-out walk. First one issued by Parker. We'll bring up Torrey Hunter.
Good situation now for the Angels with the speed of Trout at first, his ability to steal bases. Parker has allowed 18 stolen bases in 24 attempts. Does have 3 pickoffs, and Torrey Hunter likes hitting in his number 2 spot, especially with Mike Trout at first base. His approach is completely different than when Mike is not on base.
Well, the Torreytown group in effect in right field as Torrey fouls off the first one. And it's an 0-1 count. Torrey got under one and fly to left in the first innings. He's 0 for 1. Eric Aybar was on board with 2 outs in the second inning, did not budge from first base. 1-1. Torrey glancing down to Dino Evil, who's flashing the signs after he just got him from Sozier. Parker has been somewhat susceptible at times of giving up 4 or 5 runs in a ball game. He did so in the month of July and again in the month of August. His ERA getting up there in the last 2 months. As Trout takes off, then slipped, heads back to first.
Well, he had a perfect pitch to go on too. Yep. Well, we've seen out of the hitter so far, they have not chased any breaking pitch from Parker. And we talked about that different arm angle when he throws a breaking ball off the plate, but Mike didn't have a good feel as far as that potential stolen base. Went back to first.
Quick throw to first, and Trout is back in there. Just to finish up on what I was saying about Parker, he won 3 games in the month of July, went 3-1, but with an ERA of 5.34. August he went 2-3 with an ERA of 4.71. As good as he can be, he is certainly, as a young pitcher, still capable of giving up some runs. Trout takes off. The 2-1 pitch is outside. To throw down to second is off the glove and off the body of Trout. It trickles out to right center field. Trout will head to third. That was a pretty good throw by George Kottaras. Seemed to be right on the bag.
Well, that's about as good as you can do if you're Kottaras as far as your throw. Transfer was perfect. The level of the throw right at Trout going in. Oh, it looked like it might have got him around the shoulder area, Mike.
Yeah. Off the glove of Pennington. That's a pretty good throw. That looked like a product of a second baseman. Momentum carrying him over into the shortstop side of things as the ball tailed the opposite way.
And what he would normally do if he was doing a place a shortstop majority of his time.
3-1 pitch is fouled back, full count.
And that was a good decision by Torrey. It was a 2-1 count. Took that pitch. That way it allows Trout to steal the bag. A lot of times you'll see hitters up there hacking. Torrey the trust in his swing, even though he's going to take a pitch there.
Kottaras gets charged with that error. Tough one. His 3rd of the year. Now the 3-2. And Torrey lines one beyond the reach of Brandon Mawson down the line. Hunter is trying to go to second as the ball is bobbled out there. Torrey does not stop. He'll end up at third as we're tied up at 1.
Torreytown triple. Well, he likes hitting after Mike Trout has been on base. Mike Trout scores another run, ties the game up. A 2-out walk, stolen base, goes to third on a throwing error, and then scores on the triple from Torii Hunter. Boy, pretty good pitch too by Parker, but it's a better approach by Torii Hunter. Just talked about the fact that his swing is so much different when Trout is on base compared to when no one on. He gets back into that mode of trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. When hitting that number 2 spot with someone on, shortens up the swing, more productive swing for Torii Hunter.
We'll see how they rule it if they do indeed give him a triple, or if Smith gets charged with an error, but it didn't look like Torrey was going to stop. And they are giving Smith an error as Albert looks at a strike, so it is a double, the 21st of the year for Torrey. Picks up his 72nd RBI, and Smith gets charged with his first error of the season. 0-1 pitch. This one's pulled down the line and just foul. 0-2 count on Pujols. He grounded to short his first time up.
It's usually what happens when you have a 2-out walk, especially when that person you walk has a lot of speed, like Mike Trout. Oakland now is a team with 91 errors. Only Tampa and Baltimore have more errors.
1-2 on the way. This one's popped up. Pennington, the second baseman, is under it. The inning comes to an end, but the Angels tie things up on the Hunter double. 3 in the books. We're knotted up at 1. He got 2 out walks, stealing a base, moving to third on the throwing error by Kacharis, and then scoring on the Torii Hunter double. Torrey picking up his 72nd RBI. Dan Haren back to work here. He'll face 2, 3, and 4 for the Athletics. Smith, Rennick, and Cespedes.
That's a 113th run scored for Mike Trout, which is 20 more than his closest pursuer in that race as far as runs scored, and Ian Kinsler with 93. Extremely impressive.
Smith grounded out to Kendrys Morales in the first inning, but picked up an RBI, his 46th of the year. As he looks at a strike, the former Colorado Rocky has himself a 5-game hitting streak, hitting .253 on the year. 13 home runs and 45 runs batted in. This one rolled foul. And it's a ball and 2 strikes.
And doing a nice job of getting him out in front with that all-speed split-finger fastball. Seth Smith has good power that he alleys both left center and right center, especially on fastballs.
This one out to center. Trout is there. Away. Well, as Josh Reddick steps to the plate, we will check out our AT&T trivia question for tonight. Dan Haren 10+ wins for the 8th straight season. Who holds the Major League Baseball record for most consecutive 10-win years? Reddick serving as a DH tonight. Hit a fly ball to center field his first time up. Looks at a fastball for a strike. Reddick, formerly of the Boston Red Sox organization, checked his swing there, and it's 1-1 coming over in the Andrew Bailey trade. And he has done a heck of a job for Bob Melvin, getting the quasi day off serving as a DH, but a very good outfielder. Very good throwing arm, very accurate. We've seen it here on display at the Big A.
Yeah, too often.
Way too often.
He's got good speed too. 10 stolen bases. The guy can do a lot for him.
This one's popped up. Chris Iannetta gets rid of the mask. 2 outs. So here's Cespedes, the left fielder. 2 outs to nobody on. He grounded out to Eric Ibar to end the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Native of Cuba, spent some time on the disabled list this year. And a strained muscle in his left hand. Also didn't go on the DL. Also had an issue with the strained left hamstring. That was in the month of June. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. And if it weren't for Mike Trout, you'd be talking about Yoenis Cespedes and Yu Darvish as far as American League Rookies of the Year.
Yeah, no question. He's got great power, very good speed. We've already seen that arm on display in left field to throw the second base.
1-2, and you could see by that swing right there, he does not get cheated in his hacks.
And that's why, as a pitcher against me, you want to stay on that outer half, because if you miss anywhere on the middle end, it's going to be in trouble. Force him to swing at something away. Make him hit the ball to right center field. He still has power that way, but he tries to pull a lot more.
Swing and a miss, got him. Another 1-2-3 inning for Herod. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, we're still tied at 1. You can taste. And by Southern California Toyota. Check out the full line of fuel-efficient vehicles at your Southern California Toyota dealer. Tied at 1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Dan Haren has been very good since giving up that leadoff triple to start the game to Coco Crisp. Kendrys Morales steps in, and the first one is a breaking ball for a strike. Morales, Kendrick, and Ibar here against Jared Parker. Has a couple of strikeouts, 1 walk. 2 hits allowed. Morales pulls this one past the diving Mawson into right field. And the Angels get their leadoff man on board for Howie Kendrick. As we go back to our AT&T trivia question, we mentioned that Dan Haren, 10 or more wins in a season, 8 consecutive years. Who holds the MLB record for that category? And it's none other than Greg Maddux.
The professor.
So they called him. He got into your wallet plenty of times in spring training. I know that.
Yes, he did.
Schmaltzy, yeah. All your guys.
Yeah,
Kendrick shoots one to right field, but Smith is right there for the first out. Avery get in your wallet too?
Yes.
He did.
Oh, yes.
How about Millwood?
No. It wasn't fair. These guys are scratch golfers, and I'm about a 20 handicap. That's not fair, I don't think. You think?
In the immortal words of Justin Timberlake, Crimea River.
That's for the love of the game, though. Yeah. That's why I play it all the time.
Is that why?
Yes.
Morales still at first with one out here in the fourth. Here's Eric Aybar. Now with a 10-game hitting streak. Donaldson again playing in at third base. The first one's down and in. Oakland getting their run in the first. The Angels getting theirs in the bottom of the third. 2-out walk to Mike Trout. Eventually scored on the triple, or pardon me, the double and an error off the bat of Torrey Hunter. Off speed is yanked foul. One ball, one strike.
Cespedes playing extremely shallow and left. Huge alley in right center field. So if you're throwing change-ups or slow curveballs, that allows Aybar to turn on a pitch and potentially hit one in the alley in right center field.
In the dirt, nice dig by Kataris. 2-ball, 1-strike count.
A hit and run count for Aybar, but with Kendrys Morales at first base, Social may be more apt not to send Kendrys here.
2-1. Down and away. 3 balls to the strike. Mark Trumbo's on deck. Leadoff single by Kendrys Morales. He stands at first. Now he lined out to Seth Smith in right field. Here's the 3-1. Eric maybe expanding his strike zone just a little bit. Fastball down and in. Full count now.
And that's when you want Eric to be just a little more patient. You can see by his reaction, he knew he swung the pitch out of the strike zone.
Moss plays behind Morales. Kendrys takes off, and Aybar chops it towards second base. It's cut off by Drew and bobbled by him. And Aybar will reach.
That should be his 34th infield hit. Tough play for Drew. Between Hop, knew he has to be quick with the transfer, unable to field that baseball. With Morales going on that 3-2 count with 1 out, forced the issue, and Eric got his second hit of the game here.
Well, it looks like they're calling that an error. So that would be the 3rd error on the Oakland Athletics today. Tough error, too.
You know, it had to be a perfect throw from Drew to be able to get Aybar.
Trumbo lays off, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. I mean, seriously, that's a tough error. That's a shortstop at the second base position cutting across.
And you're dealing with the baseball hitting the grass and dirt at the same time. You're trying to get the baseball out of your glove as quick as possible. One of the quickest runners going down the line.
Trumbo struck out looking his first time up. Swing and a miss. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Boy, that's his pitch right there. A little better effort there for Mark. He's looking for his zone right now just to be able to drive the baseball.
This one bounced over to third. Donaldson fires to second base. The first is in time. An inning-ending double play. And this 4th inning comes to an end. For the books, we are still tied at 1. We welcome you inside our broadcast booth. Dan Herron has concluded his warm-up tosses so far. A pretty good matchup. Dan Herron has been exceptionally good. Gave up that leadoff triple to Coco Crisp, then the RBI ground out to Seth Smith, but he has been locked out since.
Yeah, just what we expected with this game against Oakland. They're going to pitch well. Parker's throwing the ball exceptionally well himself. You know, both teams are trying to capitalize on mistakes. Although Oakland has made 3 errors so far in this game, Dan Herron's been very, very good. After that triple, like you mentioned, Victor, been solid with his fastball.
He delivers a first pitch strike here on Brandon Moss, the first baseman. He'll be followed by George Kataris and then Josh Donaldson. 4 strikeouts for Herron. Moss has one of those. So he is 0 for 1, getting to start at first base today. Hit in the air deep to right field. Torrey Hunter back, and he will watch this one go into the seats. A 2-1 Oakland lead as Brandon Moss has hit his 7th home run of the season.
The 17th home run for Moss, 36th RBI, second home run he's hit against him, with the one to right center field in Oakland. He's got that uppercut lift, drives it out to right center field.
Snaps a string of 12 consecutive batters retired by Herron. So Oakland regains the lead here to start this 5th inning. Their 163rd home run of the season. They've been on a tear since the All-Star break with the long ball, too. Now their 80th home run since the All-Star break. That leads Major League Baseball. One pitch. 2 balls and a strike. Kataris struck out swinging in the second inning, so he's 0 for 1. Yeah, Oakland 7th in the American League in home runs. The Angels 6th with 169. Strike on the corner, 2-2.
Well, when you look at the way that Oakland was swinging the bats the first couple months, you would think there's no chance they'd be in the top 10 as far as home runs. They've been red hot since the All-Star break.
Full count now. First full count of the night for Herron. This one's fouled off the left. Donaldson is on deck. Another payoff pitch. Kataris fouls it off again.
I think you got to give a lot of credit to Chili Davis, what he's done as far as the hitting coach for Oakland and his approach, trying to get fastballs, getting the fastball counts, and not missing that opportunity to hit a ball well. You get no spots.
They have punished mistakes. The average may not show it, but they have punished mistakes, especially in the second half as Kataris lifts one out to center. And Trout is there, one out. And Oakland 13th in the American League in team batting average, 12th in on-base percentage, 10th in slugging. They have punished mistakes in the second half without question, especially with the long ball, but you also don't have to score a whole lot of runs when you've got a pitching staff that's second in the American League at team ERA with a lockdown bullpen.
That's the thing. That bullpen has been a big reason why they were able to win a lot of these games, the walk-off variety. Chili's done a nice job as far as utilizing his approach as a hitter and use this with a lot of their young, talented players and guys that they've got from different organizations to come in there and buy into his philosophy.
Donaldson shows bunt, looks at a strike. He grounded out to short in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. Lead-off home run by Brandon Moss here in the 5th, putting Oakland back on top. This one's lined to center field. It's a base hit. Man on with one out, and Stephen Drew coming to the plate. And the Junior Angels Kids Club now offering discounted memberships for the remainder of the season for just $15. receive an exclusive Kids Club hat, a lanyard, 2 ticket vouchers, and an Albert Pujols water bottle, and more. Just log on at Angels.com/Junior
Angels
to join today. That's the 3rd hit of the night for the Athletics. Puts a man on, and Stephen Drew up. He hit a fly ball to center field his first time up. Looks at a breaking pitch for a strike. And Drew asking about the location of that pitch. Tim Welke behind the plate. Baseball family, the Drews, JD and Tim. One ball, one strike. Long look in for Heron. Donaldson with a short lead at first. As Drew pulls one over to first, Morales has it, touches the bag, then they've got Donaldson in a rundown. He runs right into the 3rd out. The inning comes to an end, but Brandon Moss gives the A's the lead once again with a leadoff home run. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. A's up 2-1. Trout to face Jared Parker. He's thrown 60 pitches thus far. He's struck out 2 and he's walked 1. Alberto's 0 for 1 as that breaking pitch misses inside. He hit a fly ball that went into foul territory. Cespedes made a nice play on up against the wall. A 2-run home run yesterday, his 9th of the year, as he loops this one out to center. Coco Crisp comes in a couple of steps. And there's out number 1. The Angels had a pretty good opportunity with 1 out. Runners at first and second in the 4th inning, but Trumbo grounded into the inning-ending double play. Dennis steps in, 0 for 1 as he grounded a short in the 3rd inning. Bounces this one off the glove of Parker to ricochets to Pennington. 2 outs.
Well, Parker getting some quick outs.
Yep.
One thing you want to do, especially for a pitcher that hasn't hit this late into a season, you want to work some counts now. It's an unusual time for a young pitcher, usually at home. Minor league seasons are over at this point. A lot of young pitchers for this Oakland A's team. That's the thing, it could be an issue for them down the stretch. Not a lot of experience in these big games.
Well, most innings that Parker has pitched in a season, 135, pardon me, just over 136, and that was last year. As Trout looks at a strike at its own, too. It looked like Kataris got crossed up there.
That's a pretty good changeup, too.
Yeah. Nice job of readjusting there. This one's fouled back. Parker, of course, at Tommy John surgery. He missed all of 2010. That's why he was limited last year to just over 136 innings. Came into tonight's action with 147 1/3. Oh, 2. This one's popped up. Shallow right. Pennington going out. The second baseman is there. And a 1-2-3 shutdown inning for Parker. We've played 5 here at the Big A, and Oakland's on top 2-1.
Friday on Fox Sports West. Kent's high school football 4 game of the week with Vista Murrieta hosts Redlands East Valley at 8:30 p.m. In addition, log on to Fox Sports West Prep Zone platform streaming for SoCal matchups. For complete coverage, game analysis, and more, visit foxsportswest.com/prepzone.
Top of the 6th inning, 2-1. Heron back to work.
You're excited for the high school game again, aren't you?
It sounded like you were.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
I got home and watched that Chaminade game the other night.
There's a little giddiness in your voice. First one is down.
I know you checked it out. You saw that blue field, man. You were going, that's a good game.
No, I thought something was wrong with my TV as I was flipping through there. And so I just kept on past it. 1-0 pitch. Pennington hits one well out to right center field. That ball's crushed, and Torrey will watch this one go over the wall. Cliff Pennington has gone deep. Second straight inning. A leadoff home run allowed by Heron. It's 3-1 Oakland.
And leadoff extra base hits. Leadoff extra base hit. Triple for Coco Christen starting the game. Ends up scoring, and the leadoff home run by Moss. And now Pennington here. His fastball didn't get down and away. Stayed middle in. And Pennington hits it out.
It's the 24th home run that Heron has allowed this year.
'13th to left-handed batters.
Coco Crisp swings to the first one here. It's one down the right field line. Hunter runs out of room. So 2 more home runs hit by the Athletics tonight. 164 on the season. That was their 4th hit tonight. As we play here in the 6th inning. Coco 1 for 2, a triple with a run scored and a strikeout. Dan Heron at 60 pitches right now, but the Angels not wasting any time. Nick Miranda, left-hander's up now. pulled foul. 1-2 as we take a look at our GoPro bullpen camp. Jason Isringhausen as well has joined in.
Well, the way Parker's thrown, and we've mentioned it a number of times, the way their bullpen is thrown, cannot afford to fall further behind. That's why Mike Scioscia has the bullpen going.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Dan wants to do baseball. Off speed, looped out to right center. Torrey comes charging in. 1 out.
Number 15, right fielder, Seth Smith.
That'll bring up Smith. Getting to start tonight out at right field. He had an RBI ground out in the first inning. Fly ball to center field, leading off the 4th. Aaron had a stretch in which he retired 12 consecutive batters after that leadoff triple by Coco. Then Moss with a leadoff home run in the 5th, and now Pennington getting a leadoff home run in the 6th inning as Smith looks at a strike. A 1 on the way. Tied him up with a fastball, fouled back. 0-2 count. Most runs the Angels have allowed since the Monday game in Oakland at Labor Day. 8-3 Angels win. Smith fouls this one back. Count remains at 0-2.
They're jumping on any mistake you make on the mound against them. There's capitalize on the pitches that are not located well. And Dan Heron's throwing the ball well. He's only given up 4 hits here so far with 1 out in the 6th. With a few mistakes has allowed Oakland to get this 3-1 lead.
A ball and 2 strikes on Smith with 1 out here in the 6th inning. Reddick is on deck. The start of the night, the splits for Heron as far as home run balls. See it come in, having allowed 22 right down the middle. 11 for lefties, 11 for righties. As this one's pulled foul, but 2 left-handers have gotten him today. He's thrown the ball much better against left-handed hitters this year. 237 average against Heron. Righties touching him to a 326 batting average. But again, you make a mistake with this team right now, they will capitalize. Smith watches that one bounce out in front of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the 2-2. It's bounced over the head of Heron. Howie Kendrick is there. Bounce. Fans take advantage of great savings available when the Angels continue this series against the A's through Thursday. 2 more night games and then a day game. Just use the password ACES when purchasing tickets at Angels.com or at the Angels Stadium ticket office and receive 50% off select seating locations. Those 2 games that we talked about earlier in the American League are both finals now. The White Sox took care of the Tigers 6-1. So the Tigers' struggles continue. Detroit, since sweeping the White Sox at home 2 weekends ago, are 1-7 since.
Had a tough time with Cleveland. Of course, the Angels sweep them 3.
This one pulled over to second base. Howie got Minnesota defeated Cleveland Knights 7-2. Here it's 3-1 Oakland. Pennington with a leadoff home run to start the 6th. Well, if you remember back a couple of years ago when the Angels hosted the All-Star game, Christine Fabiani founded Knots of Love, a 501c3 charitable foundation, and with volunteers knitting caps and crocheting caps for cancer patients everywhere. That's why she was the Angels People All-Star in 2009. Some of her volunteers in the house tonight knitting some of those caps. Tori fouls this one off. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Great thing they're doing.
Knots of Love, founded in 2007. They've been able to ship 131,000 handmade caps to 410 cancer centers, hospitals, hospices, and oncology offices in all 50 states.
Amazing what they do.
Torrey shows bunt, pulls it back. 2 balls and a strike. (3-1). Oakland leads it here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Hunter, Pujols, and Morales. Torrey 1 for 2, had a double and an RBI in the 3rd inning. Breaking pitch, cut on and missed. 2-2.
Pulled off on that breaking pitch. Going to get back to that approach, hard up the middle, base hit. We'll try to pull unless it's on the inner half.
This one's pulled to left, but got in on the hands just enough. That was the first out. For the big pitch, really, if you think about it for right now, that double play that he got Trumbo to hit into to end that 4th inning. 5 in a row retired since the error by Stephen Drew on the ball that Ibar hit that put 2 on with 1 out.
Yeah, Parker's been able to use both sides of the plate with his fastball. Same thing with his changeup.
Breaking pitch to Albert, misses down and away. Pujols is 0 for 2. Ground ball to short, and a pop up to second. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 3 hits allowed by Parker. That's a strike on the corner.
You can see how he can run that fastball in after that fastball, last one, at 94 away, a 4-seam fastball away, runs a 2-seam fastball in. And that pitch was well off the inside corner.
The 1-2 upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Almost as if he's shaking off to go to a changeup, something off speed here. And he's going to let a changeup.
Swing and a foul tip, just got a piece of it. So the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one bounced to the left side. Drew has it. 2 outs. So the base is clear for Kendrys Morales. 3 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors. Nobody left on for the Athletics. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, 3 left on for the Angels so far. Solo runs for Oakland in the 1st, 5th, and 6th. Angels lone run coming in the 3rd inning. And it came with 2 outs. Kendrys singled in the 4th inning. A 1 for 2 night for him.
This one, if you're Kendrys, you're just looking for an extra base hit now. And Parker, first pitch, changeup. I got a fastball count. See if he can do some damage to it.
Fouls this one off the left. A 2-1 count. He got the fastball. 94 mile per hour.
When you look at Parker's mechanics, he's very fluid, doesn't waste a lot of energy, compact, hides the ball well.
Parker back in the count now with 2 balls, 2 strikes. This one pulled over to first. Moss has it. Waves off Parker in a 1-2-3 inning. 6 complete here at the Big A. It is a 3-1 Oakland lead. Q Burger with pulled pork on a cheeseburger. New at Carl's Jr. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T Rethink Possible. And by Dodge. Oakland leads at 3-1 as we start the top of the 7th inning. Jared Parker has retired the last 7 in a row on the heels of the back-to-back leadoff home runs for the Oakland Athletics. The 5th and the 6th innings. Here in the 7th, Cespedes, Moss, and Katars to face Dan Herron. 73rd pitch of the night is cut on and missed. 4 strikeouts, no walks for Herron. 4 hits allowed, although 2 of which have left the building. 2 solo home runs. Moss is 7th of the year. Pennington is 5th. 0-1 pitch. Count is evened up. Cespedes, the left fielder, 0 for 2. He's grounded to short and struck out.
Cespedes is extremely aggressive at the plate. There's 28 walks and 404 official at bats for him this year. He's up there hacking. Just don't make a mistake on the inner half against him. Force him to hit the ball to right field.
Got underneath this one, pops it out to shallow left. Eric Ibar is out there. 1 out. Angels have action in the bullpen again, and it looks like Mike Scioscia is going to go to the bullpen now. With Moss coming up and 1 out here in the 7th, Nick Mirande looks like he's going to be called upon. With the Angels leading at 3-1. A pitching change in the 7th. 3-1 A's. 6 in the third inning. Brandon Moss battered. He homered off of him the last time up, but so Mike Scioscia decides to go with Nick Miranda, the left-hander. He takes over here. The base is clear, and the A's up 3-1. So in and out. Who is in? Who is out?
Nick Miranda has thrown the ball exceptionally well for Mike Scioscia. This is call up here in September. He's faced 4 batters so far in his major league career. His batter, 3 pitches to strike out. And Oakland faces 3 batters. Gets 3 punch-outs. So 4 batters faced, 4 punch-outs for Miranda so far at the major league level. Fastball is 93 to 95. Very good, sharp breaking ball also.
Moss tonight 1 for 2. Struck out in the second against Aaron, then homered, leading off the 5th. 7th home run of the season. Swings through the first pitch fastball, and it's 0-1. 36th run batted in for Moss. Aaron allows 4 hits, 2 home runs, 4 strikeouts, no walks. Bouncer back toward the middle. Ibar can't get it. It's a seeing eye single. With 1 out here, the 7th. Miranda allows his first base runner. It was inevitable.
Pretty good pitch, too. It was down, and when it hit that dirt part of the mound, it's going to pick up speed and was able to get by. Eric Ibar just touched the bottom of his glove, and by Howie Kendrick also.
Here's Kataris. 0 for 2. A strikeout, a fly ball to center. Fastball is up high. One and one. Jason Isringhausen had been loosening as well in the bullpen in case this inning goes any longer. Got a right-handed batter, Donaldson, coming up. He's on deck. Short lead at first for Moss. 1-2.
Oh, good fastball.
One ball, 2 strikes on George Kataris. Brandon Moss standing at first with 1 out here in the 7th. Kataris just a little bit tardy on that fastball.
So he has him set up now for his hard slider away.
Here's the 1-2. Just got a piece of it, pulls it foul. Miranda started the year A-ball, Inland Empire, went 3-1 with a 1.82 ERA. Then got promoted to Double-A Arkansas. 3-2 with a 3.34 ERA there. 7 appearances, 5 starts. 3rd round pick last year at the University of Florida. And Mike Scioscia has not been shy of putting him in big spots. 2-2. Just off the plate. A full count now.
After a tough slider just off the outside corner, a fastball just off the corner at 94. Moss is going to be going here. A 3-2 count.
Moss doesn't go. The 3-2 is inside. He walked him.
Well, that pitch was pretty close.
So 2 on, 1 out. And that'll bring up Donaldson, the third baseman. Here comes Mike Scioscia. Isringhausen's ready to go, and looks like he's going to go with the right-hander. So another pitching change as Miranda unable to get another out here. Still in the 7th, 2 on, 3-1 Oakland.
Two of the 4-game series against Oakland. Dan Straley on the hill for Oakland tomorrow versus Jerome Williams, who will make his first start since July 19th. Jerome 6-7, ERA 4.59. Straley's fastball 88-93 has a slider, curve, and also a very good changeup, and another strike thrower coming up through the system for Oakland.
Jason Isringhausen takes over on the mound here. 1 out in the 7th inning. Josh Donaldson will be the batter. Isringhausen pitching in his 48th game, a 3-2 record, of 3.92 ERA. He last pitched on Tuesday, and that was in the 6-1 win. Pitched against Oakland, went 1 inning and all zeros. Donaldson tonight 1 for 2. Ground out to short and a single. Long top of the 7th here. A pop-up off the bat of Cespedes. And Dan Herron was done after the first down here in the 7th. Miranda came in, gave up a seeing eye single to Moss, and then walked Kataris. And the first one is down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Two and 0. .42 and 2/3 innings for Isringhausen. 41 hits allowed, 18 walks with 29 strikeouts as he falls behind at 3-0. And again, Dan Herron being removed from the game after 76 pitches. 1 out here in the 7th. And that is a 4-pitch walk, and they're loaded up now for Stephen Drew. So back-to-back walks here. It loaded the bases up with Oakland up 3-1. Drew tonight has hit a fly ball to center field and rolled into a double play that ended the 5th. One and 0. 5 out of the strike zone now for Isringhausen.
And Drew hit a very good baseball last time that Dennis Morales made a very good play on.
1-1. Brandon Moss standing at third. George Gutierrez at second. Josh Donaldson at first. One on the way. Drew pulls it foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. When we get to the bottom of the 7th inning, Howie Kendrick, Eric Ibar, and Mark Trumbo. There's Jared Parker. Isringhausen trying to keep it a 2-run deficit. Moss and Gutierrez belong to Mirande, the 2 batters that he faced here in the 7th inning. Now the 1-2. Breaking pitch, got him. Swinging down goes Drew, 2 down.
And that's that 12-6 breaking ball that Isringhausen has had his entire career. Needed that strikeout. He got a big strikeout against Drew.
So Cliff Pennington, the batter, he's the second baseman. 1 for 2 as he homered in the 6th inning. 5th home run of the season. Looks at a breaking pitch for a strike. Trumbo very shallow and left. Trout and Hunter straight up in center and right respectively. This one's pulled back up the middle and snagged by Isringhausen. The long underhand toss. The inning comes to an end. 7th inning stretch time here at the Big A. Oakland maintains a 3-1 lead. Inning, we revisit our Hyundai key to the game.
Now let's roll, especially after the momentum you will receive after getting out of that bases loaded 1-out jam. So many times when an offense fails to score there, the opponent comes right back. An opportunity now for the Angels to not only get back, but possibly tie and take the lead here. After a couple good pitches by Jason Isringhausen, gets through the inning, a strikeout of Drew, and then the comebacker.
Parker had to sit a long time in the top of the 7th inning. See if it affects him. He's retired the last 7 in a row as Howie Kendrick looks at a breaking pitch down low. It'll be Kendrick, Ibar, and Trumbo to face Parker here. Turn 84 pitches. 52 strikes, 2 punch outs, and a walk. 1-1. Caught the corner with a fastball. Howie tonight 0 for 2. A fly ball to center and a line out to right. Bouncer to third. Donaldson has it. Make that 8 in a row. Retired by Parker. Leadoff man is done here, the 7th for the Angels, and here comes Eric Aybar. The Angels have had their leadoff man reach just once in this game. That was in the 4th inning. Kendrys Morales with a leadoff single. Aybar reached on the air, but that was it.
Well, you just look at Parker. He looks so under control right now. Get him out of that stretch position. Be aware of a base runner. Important for Eric Aybar to get on base right now.
Trying to bunt his way on. Takes down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Eric 1 for 2. Singled in the 2nd inning. Reached on the error by Stephen Drew in the 4th. Well, that probably should have been ruled a hit. 3 errors committed by the Athletics. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
A bad time for Eric just to make sure if it's going to be a pitch in the middle part of the plate, you can swing. Otherwise, take it. Get on base.
Pulled over to first. Moss has it. 2 outs. So 2 outs and nobody on now for Mark Trumbo. 0 for 2. A strikeout, a double play ball. The Angels have Scott Downs and LaTroy Hawkins warming in the bullpen. Top of the order due up for the Athletics in the 8th. Parker's allowed 3 hits tonight. 2 singles and a double.
Scott Downs and LaTroy Hawkins warming up in the bullpen.
Tim Welke rings that one up as a strike. Looked like that pitch was a little bit up and in. 2-1.
Off the plate. Clearly off the plate. That forces you as a hitter, then you're going to swing. It's the exact same location. Now, if that's called a ball to pitch before, you're more apt as a hitter to take that pitch.
Count even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one yanked foul. Callaspo on deck. Last base runner for the Angels was Aybar in that 4th inning of the error. Coming back inside. He lays off. Full count now.
Well, he's challenged him at 4 in a row in that part of the plate.
Looks like they're coming back inside. 3-2, and he missed location. So it's a 2-out walk. That'll bring up Callaspo. Alberto tonight is 0 for 2 with a fly ball to left and a fly ball to center.
Coming to the game, Callaspo at 313. Over his last 21 games, so he's seen the ball much better. Has that ability to hook a ball down the line to tie it up with one swing.
Takes upstairs. Trumbo working the 2-out walk here in the 7th. That's how the Angels got their run in the 3rd inning. It's the first walk that Trumbo has picked up in the month of September. His last base on balls on August the 31st. It's been a struggle for him. Quick throw to first. He's back in there safely.
That has to be a sign in from the dugout just to try to get their bullpen ready. Trouble doesn't have much of a lead right here. You're not going to take that chance of stealing the base. By design to allow the reliever to get ready.
Pennington, the second baseman, out in shallow right field against Callaspo. Just loops this one out to left center field. Here comes Coco Crisp, and it comes to an end. We've played 7. Oakland still on top.
Early on, Torrey Hunter with a double to right field scores. Mike Trout tying it at 1. And Brandon Moss pitch on the inner half and drives it out to right field. His 16th home run, and then the Pennington home run to right field, also his 5th. As Oakland leads this game 3-1 in the top of the 8th inning.
Well, Troy Hawkins comes on in relief here in the top of the 8th inning. He'll be facing the top of the order. Takes over for Jason Isringhausen, who went 2/3 of an inning. Walked a man, struck out a guy, and got him to the last guy to bounce out back to the mound. Crisp, Smith, and Reddick against LaTroy. Saw LaTroy warming up a couple of times in this weekend series and not getting into the ball game. He's now charged with trying to keep it just a 2-run deficit. Oakland with a run in the first inning. As Coco Crisp, very first pitch of the ball game, triple off the wall and right. And scored on the ground out by Seth Smith. Brandon Moss with the leadoff home run of the 5th. And Cliff Pennington with the leadoff home run of the 6th inning, totaling the Oakland's 3 runs. One ball, one strike. One and two. LaTroy has not pitched since the Monday, Labor Day in Oakland. With 1 inning, allowed 1 hit. It was a home run. That was to Chris Carter. 1-2. Breaking pitch, bounced over the mound. Ibar cuts across. One away.
Boy, nice play by Ibar. Took it over LaTroy's head, especially with the speed of Coco Crisp going down the line. Forced to make that transfer from the glove to the throwing hand very quick, and he did so.
Smith 0 for 3. Did pick up an RBI. One ball, no strikes. Oakland with 5 hits in this game. The Angels have managed 3 against Parker. And now they've got Ryan Cook, the right-hander, warming up their bullpen. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's Cook.
The way he's thrown it, you have the feeling that he's going to be coming in the game to start the 8th inning. Parker was outstanding this game tonight for Oakland.
Over to second base. Howie bobbles it for second. They get Smith for the out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Two outs here in the 8th. Josh Reddick, the DH, at the plate. The Angels in the bottom of the 8th inning will have 9, 1 and 2 coming up. As Troy delivers a breaking ball for a strike. Iannetta, Trout, and then Hunter. Oh, and 2. Reddick tonight 0 for 3. A fly ball to center, a pop up to Iannetta near the plate in foul territory, and a ground out. A lot of curveballs tonight from LaTroy Hawkins.
He's had a pretty good one, too. He's been hurt of late with his fastball. His fastball much better because of the ability to throw his curveball for strikes.
Another 0-2, and this one's lifted down to the third base line. Callaspo will give it a look, or he'll run out of room. Jared Parker tonight, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 run allowed. One ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Down goes Reddick. A 1-2-3 inning for LaTroy Hawkins. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. The Halos down by 2.
From AT&T U-verse. Visit AT&T.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. By CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax. Start here. And by Hawaiian Gardens Casino. Get your game on.
Oakland leads it 3-1 as we start this bottom of the 8th inning here at the Big A. The first of 4 against the Oakland A's. They've used the long ball today to retake the lead. The 2 solo home runs giving them a 3-1 lead as Jared Parker no longer in the ballgame. And Ryan Cook now takes over, pitching in his 60th game, a 6-2 record and a 2.54 ERA.
And Ryan Cook has 13 saves on the year. He has that ability to close games, but that's not his role now. More of a setup guy. Fastball 93 to 98. Very good slider and an occasional changeup. Will walk some batters, though, on occasion. There's 27 walks in that 16 in the 3rd inning pitched.
Chris Iannetta to lead things off. He's 0 for 2. A couple of ground outs tonight. And the first one from Cook is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Cook pitched in that Wednesday afternoon game at the Coliseum. Had 1 inning plus 3 batters, allowed 3 runs, 2 earned. He walked 2 in that one. As Iannetta slices one over to second. Pennington has it. 1 out.
There's really nothing you can do if you're Chris Iannetta. He did a nice job as far as squaring up that baseball. Went with it the other way. Great at Pennington at second base.
Back to the top of the order now, Mike Trout. 0 for 2 with a fly ball to right and a pop up to second. He has walked, stolen a base, and scored a run. That was back into third. Fastball at 98 is in there. Took the product of the University of Southern California. Came over in that Cahill deal. Along with Parker, got the start tonight. 0-2 count.
He does have a good fastball. As you can see, both fastballs at 98, but has a very good swing and miss slider.
Just got a piece of it. Coming back with the fastball. Gutierrez has set it really inside on that one. Torrey Hunter's on deck.
Well, the bullpen has certainly been one of the strengths for this Oakland team. 2.78 ERA out of the bullpen. They've been very, very good. A lot of power arms. Well, Melvin is not afraid to go down to that bullpen.
Nope. Now the 0-2. That's up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The bullpen with a record of 24-11. At the 2.78 mark. They are second overall in the American League in team ERA with the 3.40 mark. Having allowed 1 run tonight. Looks like they're coming back inside the 1-2, and this one's chopped off the plate. That'll be a tough play for Cook, and that is an infield base hit.
And once that baseball checked up on Ryan Cook, there's no way. He did a good job as well as you could play it. That speed of Mike Trout is going to beat that out. Good pitch off the plate, and then when it checked in the grass, no chance of throwing out Trout. And speed going down the line.
Never looked at it. He knew it was going to be in fair territory. Didn't bother, didn't check it out. He just put his head down. So he is on board for Torrey Hunter.
This great running motion, too, going down the line.
The fastball is down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Torrey tonight 1 for 3. Had a double with a run batted in the 3rd inning. Trout takes off. The pitch is cut on. Bounce to the left side. Stephen Drew has it. And Hunter is retired for the 2nd out of the inning.
It's a pretty good play by Stephen Drew to be able to step on the backhand and still throw a strong throw over to to get Torrey. It looked like Trout had that base stolen easily.
Yep, no question.
And with the throwing motion that Cook has, he would be susceptible to a stolen base. More of that hook throw to begin with. It's going to delay that times to home.
So a man of scoring position. 2 outs here in the 8th inning. 3-1 Oakland. Albert Pujols 0 for 3 tonight. Steps in. Swings the first one. Fouls it back. John Doolittle, the left-hander, now loosening.
Another power arm from the left side. He'll rush up there to upper 90s himself.
One ball, one strike. Cook getting around that breaking pitch.
First slider we've seen from Cook. And left that body wide open on that throw.
One ball, one strike. Trout with an infield base hit. Stands at second base. 2-1. Walden and Jepson warming up for the Angels. Doolittle ready to go in the pen for the A's. A 2-1 count on Albert. Kendrys Morales on deck. 2-1 pitch. This one's hit out towards center field. Playable for Coco. And the inning will come to an end. The Angels leave a man in scoring position. We will head to the 9th with Oakland still on top 3-1. Mind you, you can still subscribe to MLB.tv to take advantage of new load pricing. You see every remaining Angels out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Angels.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. As we just showed you a picture of Jordan Walden warming up. He will pitch this 9th inning, and he'll be facing Cespedes, Moss, and Kataris as he takes over from LaTroy Hawkins, who had himself a clean 1-2-3 8th inning.
Yeah, LaTroy threw the ball very well. Good to see both him and Isringhausen doing their job. Now it's up to Jordan Walden to keep that 2-run deficit.
.38th game for Jordan. 2-2 record of 3.86 ERA. The way the Striders have been going for the Angels of late, there hasn't been a whole lot of work for the bullpen guys. Walden last pitched on Monday last week. Went 1 inning against the Athletics and had 1 strikeout. Cespedes, the left fielder, is 0 for 3. A ground out, a strikeout, and a pop-up. 4th reliever used by Mike Scioscia. Nick Miranda faced 2 batters, gave up a hit and walked a man. Isringhausen went 2/3 of an inning. This one's hit to Howie. Hawkins with his 8th inning. One out here in the 9th. The Angels in the bottom of the inning will have Morales, Kendrick, and Ibar as Grant Balfour begins to warm up, the closer for the A's.
Well, you have your chance. You have your middle part of your order coming up as you put the ball in play. You have Trumbo available if there's somebody on base to be able to tie it up or win the game with one swing.
First one of Brandon Moss is down low. He's 2 for 3 tonight. A strikeout, a home run, and a single. One ball, one strike.
There's some hitters in this lineup for Oakland. Don't get cheated with their swings.
Nope.
Cespedes, Moss, Reddick. They're up there hacking. And Norris, if he's behind the plate, he's another one that's up there hacking.
Moss loops it foul. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Breaking ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jared Parker stellar tonight for the Athletics. 1 run on 3 hits. It's 7 innings of work. A big double play that he got in the 4th inning. Moss swings and misses. The ball gets away from Ionetta, and he will reach. Walden gets credit for the strikeout, but it's a wild pitch. 1 out and a man on for now George Kottaras.
Very difficult pitch to block if you're Chris Ionetta. A slider in the dirt, different type of spin, especially when it's by the plate area, and then goes away from him.
Kottaras tonight is 0 for 2. A strikeout, a fly ball to center. He's also walked as this one's bounced right back to Walden. Fires to second. They get the force out for the second out here in the 9th. Kottaras reaches on the fielder's choice.
This play by Jordan. That ball was destined to be up the middle. Was hit well. Didn't panic. Good throw to Eric Ibar to get the force out at second. Hard that ball was hit. A lot of times you'll see a pitcher when the ball is in front of him will panic and then don't get himself a good throwing position, but Jordan Walden did a nice job of doing so.
Donaldson looked like he went around. He did. Donaldson 1 for 2. A single in the 5th inning, walk into 7th. Oh, 2 count. Little looper down the right field line. That's going to fall in for a hit. Kottaras advances to second.
Pretty good piece of hitting for Donaldson on a slider away. It's flicked it in the right field. That pitch is off the plate. Good location for Walden, but just put it in play and gets a base hit out of it.
First one is down and away to Stephen Drew. 0 for 3 tonight. Fly out of ground out into a double play and a strikeout. 1-1. One ball, 2 strikes. Grant Balfour will be coming on in the ninth, the bottom of the ninth, I should say. 2-2 now. Halos tonight have been limited as far as men in scoring position, just 1 for 4.
And they certainly haven't been given a lot of opportunities.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Drew. The inning comes to an end. We will head to the bottom of the ninth. The Angels down by 2. We'll have Morales, Kendrick, and Ibar to face Grant Balfour. The Oakland A's have brought on their closer, Grant Balfour. Takes over for Ryan Cook, who pitches scoreless 8th inning.
Balfour fastball 91 to 96. There's a curveball, slider, and changeup. Solid ERA 2.73 for Balfour. 62 2/3 innings pitched, 56 strikeouts. Opponents only hit 166 against them.
New right fielder Colin Cowgill takes over in right. Seth Smith is done for the evening. Another former Arizona Diamondback. Kendrys Morales will lead things off for the Angels. The Halos tonight have been limited to just 4 hits. 3 by Jared Parker, the starter, who's in line for his 10th win, and 1 by Ryan Cook. Dan Herron gave up 3 runs tonight in 6 1/3. He allowed just 4 hits, but 2 of them were home runs, leadoff home runs in the 5th and 6th innings to Moss and Pennington, respectively. Balfour still getting his warm-up pitches in. The Angels on the verge of having their 6-game winning streak snap, sweeping Oakland at the Coliseum and taking care of the Tigers over the weekend. But Oakland themselves have a 3-game winning streak after sweeping the Seattle Mariners. Texas idle tonight. Winner tonight picks up a half game of the standings in the American League West. Oakland already leads the American League wild card. The first one is a fastball. A called strike. Kendrys 1 for 3, had a base hit in the 4th inning.
What you need is a base hit and a big fly, and you're tied up. You just need somebody to get on base here.
Going with a breaking pitch there. An 0-2 count.
And Balfour's definitely a high energy guy closing games for Oakland.
Bouncer to the left side. Donaldson has it. Across the diamond for the first out here in the bottom of the 9th.
Number 47, second baseman, Howie Kendrick.
Here's Howie Kendrick. 0 for 3 tonight. A couple of fly ball outs. A ground out leading off the 7th. Oh, 1 count. Donaldson playing in just about even with the bag at third in case Howie has any ideas of dropping one down. He'll be playing there, if not closer, with Ibar, who's on deck. One ball, 1 strike. Balfour was the closer, then wasn't the closer, and now back to being the closer. Ryan Cook stepped in for a little while.
And not a lot of experience in the bullpen for Oakland. Balfour is one of the few that's been around for quite a while and has been successful in that role.
August 11th, got back into that closer's role. Converted each of his 9 save opportunities in 11 games since being returned to that spot. 9 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs for him, 11 strikeouts during that stretch. Upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. The setup guy last year for Oakland. They've got some arms out there. Count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. As you can see by the picture on the screen, Grant is a high intensity, max effort guy and doesn't apologize for it, nor should he. He's had pitches down low, full count. That's just kind of the way he's wound up.
When he comes out of the bullpen in Oakland, they're playing some serious heavy metal. Definitely a high energy guy, talks to himself all the time in between pitches.
Ibar on deck. Here's the 3-2. And Howie takes a called strike 3 and a fastball right down the pipe. 2 outs. So the Angels down to the last out.
Boy, fastball, part of the strike zone.
Like Howie was looking breaking pitch.
So when you're facing a pitcher like Balfour, who has a very good fastball and is proud of his fastball, he's going to throw a majority of those pitches. You have to always think fastball.
So 2 outs here in the 9th. Here's Ibar. Looks at a strike. Eric 1 for 3 in this ball game. Check swing single in the 2nd inning. Breaking ball, a strike, 0-2. Oh, 2 on the way. That's inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mark Trumbo's on deck. The Halos down by 2 here in the ninth. Oakland looking for their 80th win. Now the 1-2. Breaking pitch fouled off the left. The Angels will send Jerome Williams to the mound tomorrow night. Dan Straley is going for the Athletics. 7:05 first pitch.
Jerome has thrown so well here at the Big A. He's a member of the Angels, so big start for him tomorrow night.
Another 1-2. Swing and a miss, and the Athletics take game 1 of this 4-game set by the score 3-1.
Well, what it came down to is Jared Parker was so good, so effective with his fastball, his changeup, and Oakland used that power ball once again. Brandon Moss, Cliff Pennington, and then that bullpen held up once again with Cook and Balfour.
Taking a look at the standings in the American League wildcard. Baltimore idle today, so the Angels now a game and a half back. The Tampa Bay is ahead now by half a game. Tigers lost, so they are now 5 back. And Oakland expands their lead as the overall wildcard leader, as the Angels' record now is 77-64. Dan Hare takes the loss tonight. He's now 10-11, and Parker with the win is now 10-8. 3-1 the final. Oakland takes game 1 of this set. Stick around. It's Jamie Maggio, Garrett Anderson, and Jose Muto.